Well, firstly, I thought from a futuristic point of view that the change concept of what you're on about made sense to me, because turning 60 back in January and trying to look at how I sustain my business over the next 20 years, I've realised that we have to change. And if we don't change and we don't sort of look forward and see, well, how do we work it long term? We'll get to the point where we'd have to either give it away or it'll get past me.
Yeah.
And
at least you're taking the opportunity to think about that and to consider what might be, so you can be, I suppose, more prepared for possible changes that are occurring that we just don't see at the moment. That's really important.
And like I said a minute ago when we were talking, one of the things I really think will happen is that from an online point of view, online interviews, Skype link up where you interview people over Skype. I can't see how that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think it's got to be that way. And even sign-ups where you don't have to sit face-to-face, you can, identify people face-to-face on a Skype interview, and they'll be able to sign the
facial
screen like an
recognition,
iPad.
that sort of thing.
Like even now, you can take IDs with your phone, you can put it up in front of you and take a photo of yourself with your licence.
Exactly.
At remote. And
so those sort of things are emerging and starting to change now, and they don't have that sort of momentum that everyone sees. But I think that's certainly a possible future. Certainly, it's a much more efficient way than having to drive out in the evenings, isn't it?
And everything that we do, I reckon, will get to the point where we'll just have link up. We won't have so much work because people are so busy that it's hard to get them into your office now. And if we don't look at that. I'll finish up having to retire in 3 or 4 years and I won't keep up with it.
Well, I'm glad you got something out of today. The purpose was to shift your thinking.
I did enjoy it, actually, because, I sort of, not that I do what you do, but I think about a lot of times what are we coming up against in the next 10 years? Well, that's right. A lot of organisations, implicitly think about the future, but we're trying to make it explicit. Actually, it's a process that you can go through rather than just doing the doing and the in the strategy. Do the thinking part as well. What could happen? What might happen? What will happen? I'd actually say to them, listen and have it and really take on board, what their plans are. The advice that you're giving makes sense. To me, it makes sense. So and look at it, listen to it, because if you don't look at change, I've always been not scared of change. And if you don't look at change, you're lost.
It'll pass you by.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Barry, really appreciate it. And you've got a great memory. I wish I was as good. My memory was good.